Yeah, I want to understand from you. We were talking about milestones, future milestones that you hope to clock, as well as the areas that you intend to focus on. So take me through what we can now expect as far as Dhruva is concerned in the next few years.
So going down the line, satellite manufacturing and of course ground stations along with it has been a core interest. So we've demonstrated our smallest class satellite, the P dot that I have over here. But going down the line, we are looking at larger satellites, the 30 kg class and 100 kilo class satellites that we are developing and hope to put it in the orbit. We already have good interest from the customers, so we are looking at working with them and launching these satellites into space, hopefully in the next couple of years.
Okay, that's
and
good
also
to hear.
going down the line,
what I want to now address sure. Go ahead.
Yeah. Also, we also want to start working more on the constellation probabilities and building up to the constellation, be it for us or be it for the customers. So that's something else that's in the pipeline now.
Well, what I want to address with each one of you, and Pawan, let me get you to address that. This whole business of space economics, we were addressing the issue of the opportunity that is available for the taking at this point in time, and the opportunity that each one of you is going after. But more importantly, also on the cost side, because you have some fairly aggressive aspirations and targets that you've set as far as the cost side is concerned. Pawan, you talk about bringing down the costs by almost 50%. That's the aim for Skyroot, to cut satellite launch costs by up to 50%. So if you can address both those issues, the monetization and the revenue potential, as well as what you're hoping to do on the cost side and how you intend to bring costs down by 50%.
Yeah, so firstly, in fact, like even Chaitanya mentioned, right, so the global space economy is close to $400 billion, but India's share is less than 2%. And in specifically for launch, which, Skyroot offers, it's less than even 1% of the global market. So there's ample opportunity, even though India is like one of the top 5 spacefaring nations, the global share, the global pie is pretty small. That's where the new reforms will open up, to a larger pie, once all the companies get operational in the next few years. So space launch per se, today it's around $10 billion market. It's set to grow to a $50 billion market soon. And then, with us, we want to innovate to a level where we can slash down the cost by 50%. It can be done. In fact, India has one big advantage. It is like by default there is a good cost advantage. In fact, the kind of advantage we get in the IT sector, similar we also get something in the high tech sector like space as well. With the 60 years of great infrastructure built in the country, with the kind of expertise built in the country, the ecosystem built in the country over the 60 years. I think building on top of that, I think there's a cost is a default to that. But of course, you cannot go beyond a level without a next level of innovation coming into the picture.
Let me get Moin to come in on that as well. Moin, just to pick up on what we heard there from Pawan on being able to address the cost issue and bring down costs quite significantly. And the other aspiration that Pawan spoke of was that, make companies like yours the sort of Uber or Ola in space, where it's as easy as booking a cab to send a rocket up. Moin, is it going to really be as simple as that? Or are we overestimating the ease as well as the potential?
Got it. So it's a twofold question. So let me answer the first part of it. Being Indians, I think the first factor that we all focus is like reducing the cost, being more affordable for any customer that we could be. So that's the first aspect that we have. Yes, obviously in this course, we have also been thinking about how to reduce the price. In this aspect, we figured out providing flexibility to the customers. For example, we have the ability to reduce the number of engines depending upon the payload that we'll be carrying. So all of these advantages come into play just with respect to reduce the cost of the vehicle so that we can actually provide a better cost competition to the customers that we'll be having. So that's the first cost perspective that any company will be focusing on. The second aspect of it, as you were mentioning about is it really going to be Ola or Uber? Rocket science is one aspect where something works, it will work. You don't need to change anything. So if you figured out that part, it is our understanding that it is going to exactly be the Ola or the Uber. So even if somebody asks what is your business model, it's just transportation business. Point A being ground and point B being space. So whether you call it as like
Yeah.
Ola, Uber, or AgniKul or Skyroot, that's exactly how it is going to be. So I think that is how we should be looking at things.
Well, you make rocket science look very easy, gentlemen, and I don't know if that is the case. So, I'm certainly inspired by your confidence. But before I get Awais in, Moin, December is going to be a big month for AgniKul with the Agniban.
Yes, I think we'll have a launch in the month of December. Yes, I think it's officially started. So yeah, this month we can expect a launch from us. So fingers crossed. Yeah.
Okay, so the countdown has quite literally begun. Do you want to leave us with a date?
I think we have to figure it out through the InSpace and ISRO. So we'll go through those particular channels, and then I think we'll get you to the date as well.
Well, we look to having you back with us as and when you meet that date with the date. But Awais, let's address the economics issue with you, because that was the one that you had sort of brought up. And in terms of the kind of visibility and the kind of response that you are starting to see from clients, investors, as you pointed out, now believe in this story because they actually have something to go by. But what's the kind of response that you're also seeing coming in from clients, as well as the niches that are opening up in terms of the addressable markets?
Sure. So I think, the good thing has been that this is when we started looking at hyperspectral data, we didn't want to start with something that someone else had done in some other country and then replicate that here in the country. We wanted to very clearly focus on something that no one else in the world had done. So when we started in 2019, there existed no way of obtaining hyperspectral data from space, which should help us see a lot more things with regards to the health of the planet. And we said, if this is a data set that's not available out there on the internet, we will build our own satellites then to provide it. And even today, we are the only ones that are currently operating a hyperspectral commercial satellite from space, which also happens to be the highest resolution one. So thanks to that, a lot of clients that had the need for this data, which we had validated before we even got started manufacturing on this, they reached out to us through our website. They reached out to us on our email asking us that this is the data set that they require. Mining companies reached out saying we need help with containing the environmental impact that the mines have had. Oil and gas companies have reached out to us telling us that there are leaks that occur in these pipelines and we need satellite help to be able to see where those leaks are occurring and when they are occurring. Agricultural companies are coming to us to get a sense of how healthy the crops are or the soil is or what nutrients are missing from there. So I think we've been lucky that way that we managed to focus on a technology that was missing globally, and we decided that we would build it for the first time, and then clients are coming there. Of course, there's another aspect to that where our own team continuously reaches out to clients around the globe to be able to say, here's hyperspectral data, here's how it can help make your operations more efficient or save you more money, and then we move ahead from there. So as I said, about 60 customers already signed on, out of which 90% are abroad India. But we're starting to see money already starting to come in. I think that's the biggest validation, that when you have some technology that you have built and then customers are starting to pay for that data, that happens. In our case, we didn't really look at the economics that much. We wanted to focus on the premium data set, right? The cost aspect and the cost savings and the efficiency that come from manufacturing here in Bangalore are obviously a big bonus, but from our perspective, we want to provide a premium data set to our customers that they don't have access to today, that they will not get access to in the closed run, and that's why we can still charge the same amount of prices that anyone else is able to charge globally. At the same time, our costs and spendings are much lower, meaning that we have much higher margin. So we look at cost as a big bonus, focusing on the innovation aspect of it, providing something that no one else has access to, but absolutely being here has its advantages in terms of keeping things very, very low cost and efficient, which is important if we need to grow the pie of the economy. If you need to make that $400 billion, $1 trillion in the next decade, that's important for us to do.
Yes, and each of you are going to help in growing that pie, so to speak. But Chaitanya, since we talked about the fact that this is of course, a sunrise sector, a nascent sector in India, 100+ startups already in this space. As someone who has a decade-long experience of being in this space, being there and done that, what is it that you would hold out in terms of the checklist on those who are looking at this opportunity?
One, perseverance, and two, having to be meticulous, right? So the amount of testing that our team has done for every bit of launch, be it on the satellite, be it on the ground segment, is just immense. Like they did not leave anything to chance. So, and typically if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And once you're in space, you can't really handle it and it could have repercussions. So it's necessary that, whoever's coming in, they do have that drive and also have a long-term vision where they're going. Because it is end of the day relatively, it's a deep tech sector, so you can't expect someone to be okay today, we do it, tomorrow I change my idea, day after tomorrow. That's not going to sustain. So it's necessary to have like a really long-term plan and understand what's needed in the sector. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Meticulous, consistent, and of course, detail-oriented. That is going to have to be the mindset. Gentlemen, I'm going to end by asking you, so many comparisons, and I think the one that has captured everyone's imagination is the comparison with Musk. Pawan, let me start by asking you, I don't know how many times you've been asked or you've been called the Elon Musk of India and so on and so forth. I mean, when you hear things like that, what does it make you feel, and what is the inspiration today?
Yeah, so definitely, I think Musk has been an inspiration for many space entrepreneurs and the space sector as a whole, for sure. And just because people associate rockets with Musk, we get almost, I'm sure everybody gets asked this question. Anything we do in space, are you with the Elon Musk of India? So this keeps coming a lot. But of course, I think it's time to build our own X or Y or Z from the country. I think, with our own independent identity, do our own different way. And of course, getting inspired by stalwarts like, Elon. Yeah.
Congratulations to each one of you. We wish you the very best of luck and look forward to having you back here as you clock more milestones. Thanks very much for your time. That's a wrap on this very special edition of Young Turks. From all of us here on the show, goodbye. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.